The JR Rock and Roll Show. And we're back. Hey,
Hi.
how you been?
Good.
It's been so
a while.
long since I've seen your face straight
Yes.
on. I mean, it's usually sitting side by side on the TV doing
Yep.
yeah.
This is the time we should have been doing this during this whole stay at home.
It's been a bit of motivation issue for me
Yeah, me too.
to come down because it seems like the only content that is out there is COVID, quarantine, or put your kid in your window and videotape it and put it on the YouTube and say, "Isn't that cute?"
A lot of internet's going on.
Yeah, but I was kind of feeling the need for it because I don't know if a lot's happened, but I can't sit and look at the TV.
No, I never
Anymore.
thought I'd say that, but I am actually TV watched out.
I know. I was the quintessential couch potato, and you can attest to
Saving
that.
lives.
But now I'm saving lives. But man, I never thought I'd get sick of it.
It's that if you smoke one, you're okay, but smoke the whole pack and you're done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The punishment from days of old for
Exactly.
cigarettes and cigars. Yeah.
It's a way to do it. Or you drink a beer, make them drink a whole six-pack till they get sick. And
That's how we were raised, folks. If you got caught smoking, they hauled you out behind the barn and said, "You're going to smoke the entire crate of cigarettes until you're sick of it."
that it is.
And the kids are like, "What's a barn?" It's a red building out in the middle of nowhere. Good times.
So the big topic is the COVID
The COVID.
and the stay at home.
How are you feeling about the COVID?
I'm telling you, one day I am like stressing out big time. The next day it's like, oh, this isn't that big of a deal. And then the next day again, I don't know if it's the media or what it is, but all of a sudden, like the day we actually did go out to get our necessities that we had to get, I was literally shaking because it was like, why am I so anxiety ridden? I didn't think I felt that way, but it was like, whoa.
The
You know.
news did it to you.
Oh, I don't know if that was it or if it was just being around people again.
We've done an excellent job of growing into hermits.
We were made for this.
We were made for this. We invented this. I feel like we manifested this a little bit. Honestly, I mean, once not to say our age again, but once 50 hit, it really set into like, I really don't want to go to Walmart ever
I
again.
don't ever want to go out.
Not because of Walmart, but because of people. And that Walmart is, for grocery store or just any kind of store.
Exactly.
Like,
But yeah, like one day I'd be like, they're making a big deal out of nothing. But then the next day I'd be like, this is serious stuff. That's actually killing people. And it's,
well, do you ever notice, like, when you wake up, the first thing you see on TV or come across kind of sets your day, your mode, your
Yes.
mood, your mentality?
very much so.
I think that has a lot to do with it. Because sometimes if you wake up and you get the right channel on TV for the morning news, local
it's a happy
news,
thing, yes.
it's a happy thing. But, man, once you hit that 9 o'clock hour and they start getting into what's wrong with the nation, plus you got COVID coming around,
yeah.
then you're like, ugh. But if you wake up right before that show, you're like, ugh, for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
If you wake up in the morning, you get a little bit of weather, you get a little bit of this is going on around town, but they don't like push the fear so much. I think that's what does it for me.
Yeah.
But that's just a
Definitely.
theory.
Nope, that makes sense.
But I'm sick of it. I'm
ready to be back to normal. I really
it's
am.
been
And
how
I
many
know
weeks?
I know it's not going to ever get back to normal, but
I want to make it go back to normal because I'm sick of it.
yeah. But I mean, we'll never get over you got to wash your hands.
I'm already over that. I'm already over
Well,
it.
we are because we've been inside. I haven't been outside for weeks.
Well, even when I came home the other day from getting the essentials, I was like, wash my hand for, 2 minutes or 20 seconds? But I'll take a chance. And I didn't. And here I am 4 days
I was gonna
later.
say, honestly, did you ever do that in the past?
Never. And you know what? For the last 10 years, how many times have I had the flu? A handful of times.
Yeah.
3 or 4 times that I can remember. In
Yeah.
the last 10 years,
I think we actually have it sometimes and we just don't realize we do. Like, even with this, you said, I think we might have had it, but just didn't realize we had it and didn't have it bad enough to send us.
Well, seems like every few days they come out with a new symptom that might be associated with it.
But the big one is the respiratory stuff. That's where I would get worried. But I had the aches and the pains and the head, not the headaches, but what was the other? Oh, the sore throat part of it. I had all that, but that could have just been allergies. And
that is tough this time of year for me especially.
Yeah.
But, the one symptom they said they had was that lower back pain, which I did have for about 2 weeks. And back pain for me is no big deal because it just comes and goes. You take care of it, you lay, and you're straight. But this one just popped out of nowhere. It wasn't like I turned over wrong in bed and it started, or it was just all of a sudden during the day. And it's not like I'm lifting and twisting anymore because we've been on, stay at home. And it was just kind of weird. I didn't think anything of it. But then on the news about a week after that, they said, lower back pain. They were specific. And it was like right down there above the butt.
I'm addressing that as SOA. Sitting on ass syndrome.
It sounds like you're blaming the Barco Lounger, and there's nothing wrong with that chair.
Oh, God, I'm so glad we got that right before this.
What you don't know, folks, is it's the motorized one, so we've gotten extremely lazy.
Extremely. In fact, I felt it so bad that I had to look up atrophy to see if I was suffering from that.
Okay, what's atrophy again?
Is when your muscles, when your muscles just go into
they shrink because you're in
or whatever.
outer space.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
You lose all your muscle ability, kind of like the movie WALL-E.
Whoa.
Where they're on that ship and they're all just getting bigger and bigger with no bone mass at all to them.
Yeah, I get you.
So, yes, I looked that up to make sure I didn't have the symptoms.
We're going to walk out and go like, how'd this shirt get so tight? What the fuck?
I'm already doing that. It's like, wait a minute. I knew I shouldn't have put that in the dryer.
That's right. The dryer shrunk and we need a new dryer. It was making weird noises for a week now.
We can call it the COVID-15. Is that what they usually call when the college kids goes to college and they gain the 15 pounds.
The freshman 15.
Yeah, instead of that COVID-15.
Who was, I was watching a celebrity on, one of those talk show things, and doesn't matter who it was, I'm not calling anybody out, but, he was like, I just weighed myself out of the blue and just found out I put on 25 pounds and was like, how did I not realize that was happening? The thing that got me is he said he shot up to 200 pounds. And I was like, 200 pounds? Jesus. That's like 25 pounds down from me. You'll be all right.
Some of them are like, oh, my God, I'm at 175. It's like, shut up. Honestly.
Yeah. Could you, pad at 30 a little bit? Yeah, I shot up to 230. Oh, yeah, well, I'm at 225, so to that.
Well, I got on the little trampoline thing today, and I lasted probably about 7 minutes at most, and then I was like out of breath. I gotta stop. Respiratory could be COVID.
Oh yeah, COVID.
Yeah. But I gotta get back into the exercise routine, and I just
that doesn't sound like fun.
And I mean, and they say, and I know it's all the jokes on the Facebooks and all that I would do this if I had the time to do it. And now we have the time and I'm still not doing it.
That was brilliant. Did you show me that? The Maury Povich, they said, you said you would clean your house more if you had more time.
That was a lie.
That was a lie. Nope, we haven't even cleaned shit.
No, I'm scared to because
honestly, we haven't.
It would stir up too much stuff around here.
We would dig up the past.
Yes.
So the flus that we
dust,
got in 2000 would catch us again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. Oh.
Yeah, right now I don't think COVID could survive because of the dust around here. It would just stick to that and never go
and blow away.
Yeah.
All we have to do to clean is open our windows and all the dirt just blows out. Yeah,
I really need to be doing the stuff on my list, though. But the only thing I want to do is get up and go down and watch. Yeah. And binge watch. I mean, Netflix has never seen so much action, I'm sure. I know from us, just from us.
Oh, man, the connectivity these days is just ridiculous. At 5 o'clock this morning, I had trouble getting on a website.
Oh, God.
It was just like,
Yeah.
I was like, who the fuck is awake at 5 o'clock?
Exactly.
It's not kids.
Yep.
It's not teenagers. Show me one teenager that naturally wakes up before 10 o'clock. It doesn't exist.
Right, and that has not changed. I mean, that will not change because I'm up at, I can't get to sleep sometimes at night and up at 3 a.m. and it's still bogged down. It's like, what's going on here?
The world is collapsing into mayhem.
Oh, God forbid if we'd lose our cell services and electricity.
It's funny you mention that. Not that I'm hogging it here, but yeah, again, I watched so much TV, but they said a lot of people are getting frustrated with technologies, and they're leaving their house without their phone to walk the dog.
Really? Oh, my gosh.
How will I post anything?
Yeah.
They don't know what I've eaten yet today. Do you know what I'm wearing?
That would be like leaving without a limb for some people. I mean, seriously, as much as they rely on that stuff. And I think it's even worse now because that's all we've got. I mean, Zoom. Is it Zoom?
Zoom.
Zoom.
Do you remember back in the day leaving the house without a phone?
Oh, God. All the time. And I'm old school, so I still do it half the time.
Before the phone actually came around, back when there were those big bricks that only,
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember leaving the house not thinking, I don't know if I really need one of those.
Right. Never.
But it was never a thought. You could actually leave the house with a personal wallet and you were done.
Yeah.
But now you have to have a phone with you.
Yep.
So everybody knows everything that you're doing.
And some people, that's all they take. They don't even have wallets anymore because everything's on that phone.
Ooh, that scares me.
Yeah.
That's another topic.
Speaking of topics, the only one I had was our...
We should keep that topic then, is what you're saying.
Yeah, was our Back to the Future one, and where I was like, where would you go in time? If you could go back in time, what time period would you go? Would you go in the future? Would you go back in time? Would you...
I'll tell you what I would do, and I gave this a lot of thought. I would get into my time machine. I would race it up to 88 miles an hour and go to the year 2015.
2015, that's in the past.
Go buy me a Gray's Sports Almanac. And I would take that time machine back to 1985. Give it to my 14-year-old self.
Ooh, you did that quickly.
Oh, that was a lot of math. I can't finish the joke. There's no joke. That's the end of it. But I don't know that I'd want to go back and see anything unless it was historic. I wouldn't want to see anything in my life because I'm done with everything in the past. I could say I want to go seeing how awkward I was as a teenager or how dipshitty I was as a kid, but I was there.
Yeah, because the one thing I didn't put in my my thing was you couldn't change a thing. You would just be going back to see.
Oh, yeah.
You couldn't change anything.
I wouldn't change a thing anyway.
So at that point, if that was the question, I wouldn't want to go back in time because it's already done. You can't change anything.
You wouldn't want to go see how you were conceived?
Not really.
Neither would I.
So it would be future at that point, but then how far in the future would you want to go? And
past my life, easily.
Yeah.
Like you'd want to see stuff that you think is going to happen like in 100 years from now.
Yeah.
And see how close you were.
Yeah.
But, I don't want to see future, how I die, what happens to my life, your life, our family's life.
Especially if you have no ability to change it.
Yeah. Even if I had the ability to change it, I wouldn't want to try because that would mean I'd be willing to go back in my past to change one little thing. Mm-hmm. But that would change everything. Yeah. And I like everything just as it is.
Me too.
So, dude, we just had a moment. Jeez. So, we got to take a moment to introduce the latest addition to our show.
Oh, yes.
I almost forgot.
Yes, she's so beautiful, too.
She is, and she has her own billiard bottle over there.
I see that.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. And hopefully a regular part of the show is Drunk Alexa. See her light up there? What time is it? See how well she works?
It's 4:48 p.m.
She sounds okay.
Did you hear the flange? I could put a little flange. So it kind of sounded like she was.
You got to make her talk a little more because it does get kind of funny.
I think she'd be good for fact checking.
What can we ask her?
See, I only can think of the time, but you could say, "Hey Alexa, fart." Okay, this is why we call her Drunk Alexa.
Because now she's passed out.
She's passed out.
Hey, Alexa, what's your favorite song?
My all-time favorite is Aretha Franklin's Respect.
Nice.
Today, I'm really into Where's Captain Kirk by Spiz Energy.
What?
It's a playful punk jam that reminds me to check the captain's log on Twitter. Check back tomorrow and ask, what song are you into?
All right.
All right.
Alexa, what song are you into? Are you there, Alexa?
She's swooning. Drunk Alexa, ladies and gentlemen. Alexa. I can't think of anything.
Yeah, isn't that sad?
Jesus. Alexa. Does that little green light point to where she thinks the sound's coming from?
I have no idea.
Look at that. You
I
started
still
talking.
don't know how this works.
Oh, look. She's mad now.
Alexa, give me a beat.
Wait.
Ding, 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 ding. Yeehaw.
Yeehaw. I like that at the end. Alexa, fart.
That was a relaxed one. Try asking me for a pooey fart.
Ooh.
Or say random.
Oh.
No. Pooey fart.
Do you have to say Alexa first? Oh.
That was a funny one.
That was a fun
Try
one.
asking me for an angry fart.
Angry.
Or say
oh,
random.
angry fart.
Ray Avery does really rather rank rotten farts. Like this.
Oh, that's an old one. I've heard
Try
that. before.
asking me for a ketchup fart. Or
Ketchup.
say random.
fart.
She heard that. Ketchup fart. That she passed out again.
Like ketchup and mustard?
Yeah. Alexa, stop.
Hammer time.
Yeah, she passed out.
Oh, I just turned that
She-
off.
We're all drunk. Where's drunk Lori? Drunk JR?
I really am not. I mean, well, I don't know. My orange crush was
Is that a
that
song?
TGI Fridays that makes
No,
that?
that's Chi-Chi's.
Chi-Chi's has
Wasn't
that
it
one?
Chi-Chi's?
I can't
They have
remember.
like 4 flavors.
It's the
Margarita, classic
orange-
margarita, orange, and some purpley drink.
Orange creamsicle or something.
Mhm.
Very good.
I'm going to be honest. I haven't looked at that bottle since the day we got it.
Yeah, I know. It's lasted forever. It seems like it was just refilling itself over and
God
over.
bless that fridge. It keeps giving.
Oh,
Oh, that's better.
what's next?
It's a bunch of drunk scrollings. Yep. Got it. Oh, here's what we are going to talk about today. Prep for the next pandemic.
Which could be right around the corner.
That's why we got to prep. All right? So, I propose one thing we got to prep now for. And we don't have kids, so we're only throwing this out here because we've seen the parents on TV going, can we go back to work yet?
Please.
You see it in their eyes. They've had enough. They realize that not punishing their kids had dire consequences. But beyond all
You guys
that,
go to the basement.
yes, beyond all that, I say instead of child care at home, have child sedation. Is that legal? Can we propose that? Have plenty of sedating drugs for the children because it looks like a lot of parents are in trouble out
Yes,
there.
it does.
I propose child sedation.
Yes, give them a lot of turkey. Feed them a lot of turkey. That
Screw-
tryptophan.
Screw homeschooling. It's not going to help. Not going to work. Just sedate. Next, and this is near and dear to my heart. You have ice cream trucks out there. I don't know how they fit into the whole necessary business,
Or
but
keeping your 6-foot distance.
I think if you kept your social distancing, you could have the ice cream trucks out there. But they also need to have beer trucks.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, make it legal. Don't make them go through any weird
Yeah.
bullshit. We got to go down to the state house and get this certificate or whatever. Just say, okay, pandemic time means beer truck time. You take those trucks out there, load them with bottles of beer and kegs of beer. So you can deliver bottles of beer through the neighborhoods all week long, and then on the weekend, keg trucks pull up. They,
spray you.
Well, you got to keep 6 feet away, and you can just fill up your glass. You can have a little socializing, under 50 people. But, in the street, but you stay up on the curb, you stay in your own lot, and you can just, hang out and have a beer from a beer truck.
You make it sound like alcoholics here.
We are alcoholics here.
They just need to let Amazon start delivering alcohol again.
Fuck yes. How that lasted 1 week. We got, our natural lights on there, and that was it.
Yep.
You couldn't do it again.
And then they stopped.
What the fuck happened? That was a
know, but
great idea.
They're out of everything, too, so I guess that's not a big...
Yeah, but I'm, this show is brought to you by Legend Valley IPA.
Yes.
Buckeye Lake Brewery. Highly recommended if you're in the Buckeye State.
Did you get that during our
Pandemic?
COVID
Yes.
pandemic?
Yes, I did.
Or did you get it before? So you
No, I got it.
you went in the store to get it.
No, I went to the drive-thru to get it.
Oh, that's right. We did go.
You
through the
were there.
That's right. We did.
Drunk Lori.
No, I forgot about that. The drive-thrus are still open.
and-
That was a nice thing, but he did not keep his 6-foot distance when he handed it to us.
Well, he was old.
And he didn't have his mask or his gloves on.
Well, don't call him out because we need him to be there for us like he was.
They don't know who I'm talking about.
Right, that's true.
But there's a lot of that going on. So
For older people. Older people don't
it's like
give a fuck.
Yeah, they don't seem to care.
They don't. Our age and older. And I can feel it because right now it was cute for 4 weeks, but now I don't give a fuck.
Right. It's like, take me. If you're going to take me,
Let's
take me.
get it over with. I mean, not to keep bringing up the news, but, they said 50 to possibly 70% of the people tested positive, 50 to 70% of those people don't have any symptoms. And I'm like, how is this worse than the fucking flu?
But I read, and I will eventually get you that article or whatever, how it's
Data.
different because at least the flu, they know how to protect you from it, and our bodies already have the immunity for it.
Only if you get the shot.
This is a strain that is mutating faster than they can keep up with it, and it's already mutated twice. Did you know that there's 2 strains of this?
That a week ago I saw that they said it was barely mutating on the national news.
Well, maybe because we're coming down from it, but did they tell you there's 2 strains? So we're already into a second. Does that mean a second wave of this is going to come through? This was my big thing. Haven't I always told you that this would be a terrorist dream, is to do it through a virus or through a something that,
Oh, you're getting into conspiracy
Yeah,
theory now.
yeah.
Are we
Well,
prepared
no,
for that?
I don't.
I'm not.
No, I don't want to talk about that because I do not want to call people out. But certain people sold certain stocks and stuff way before this happened, as if they knew what was coming down the line. And it's like, how did they know that? Well, some people funded some of these programs that were out there trying to get vaccines for the flu. It's like, what did you people open up when you were searching? That's my conspiracy theory.
Alexa, who are these people?
These People is the 4th studio album from British singer and musician
I did
Richard
not know that.
Ashcroft.
Okay, so
She's got all the answers.
you didn't call anybody out.
I did not.
Alexa, drunk Alexa did. So, we're not responsible for anything drunk Alexa says. She's lighting up because I said drunk Alexa. We love you, Alexa. She won't respond to anything like that. Alexa, I love you.
Aww.
That's nice of you to say.
Aww.
Okay, number 3 on my list.
Okay.
Stockpile TP. Instead of that, in addition to that.
A bidet.
No, I thought that would really take off. I really thought people would be buying bidets.
We haven't gotten ours. You bought one.
I haven't put it in yet because I don't want. Our toilet is disgusting.
It is.
I don't want to go back there.
Yeah, it's bad.
Do you know how to spell bidet?
BIDOT.
Huh? Closer than I got. It's BID. Alexa, how do you spell bidet?
Day is spelled D-A-Y.
We were both way off. But instead of stockpiling toilet paper next time, I can't read my own handwriting. Fuck's sakes. Oil, R-E-S, period.
What?
Stockpile oil. Oh. Before the next pandemic, we need to make sure our toilet paper reserves are equal to the current oil reserves in America. So where you see all those barrels of oil, there needs to be a stockpile of toilet paper just the same.
See, I swear somebody had given me the message that this was coming, because I stockpiled so much right before this happened.
You heard it here, folks.
Because it was on sale. I mean, when do you find toilet paper for $2.99 at the grocery store? I had that, and this was way before the pandemic, but I had loads of that in my cart. And oh my gosh.
You're part of the problem.
No, at the time it was just,
You were almost part of the problem.
it's like I'm saving $5 per package of toilet paper. This is mine.
Well, from me and my ass, we thank you.
Not to mention the tuna fish that was like 50 cents at the time. It's like, oh yeah, we're going to stockpile that. So
Yeah,
we
but
have plenty of tuna.
It tasted like dolphin.
Well,
I'm kidding. It was a joke. That's as good as comedy as you're going to get here.
ask her that bidet question again.
Alexa, how do you spell bidet?
Day is spelled D-A-Y.
What's the problem? I think it's spelled B-I-D-E-T.
Yeah, because it's not the O-T.
Because I was spelling it boo-day, like B-O-O-D-A-Y, boo-day. But it's a bidet.
Yeah, it's a bidet.
Bidet. And it looks like it would be wonderful, but the only trick is the easy installation.
It's
is-
not so easy.
No, it's very
Oh.
easy if you can get by all the crust that's on the side of our toilet.
Oh, come on. I know I don't clean that much.
It's not my crust because I pee like a girl. I sit down.
Well, then what the heck's it from?
I don't know. I
Sure
think
as
just
hell ain't
years of
mine.
neglect. No,
Yeah.
it's a crust. I didn't say it was pea crust, but it used to be pea crust when I peed standing up. But I stopped peeing standing up because I was the one that had to clean the toilets. So that stopped. It's not a feminine, masculine thing. I just hate cleaning toilets. But it turns out they get fucking nasty anyway.
Yeah. If
'Cause
you
they're
remember
shitters.
right, we had a friend that never used in fact, locked their one bathroom forever.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
remember, I think he said he went in and it was just nastier than
How does that happen?
because
so-
it gets standing water gets nasty. I don't care.
This on the side of the toilet. I mean, it's like it's caked dust over years. Should people know about the status of our bathroom?
Probably not.
It's just the master bathroom. We keep
Mm-hmm.
the spare clean for a company.
This is how we survived COVID because our immunities was so up to par because
best
of
on the
our
planet.
exactly because it's so used to it.
No drugs. A little bit of alcohol. But yeah, I get you. I'm with you.
Yep, and that's another one of my theories. It's like if you
Conspiracy.
antibacterialize yourself
All the time.
all the time, you are not going to have a good immune system.
Because it has nothing to practice on.
Right.
I give it stuff to
And
practice on.
and the vaccine thing drives me crazy too because it's like naturally, I mean, I think our bodies would naturally become immune to certain things if we just let it be and let it do its thing.
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. Half the this nation alone is crazy on the designer drugs.
Oh God,
which
we
every
have
one of
drugged
them
ourselves
says
completely.
may affect your immune system. So your immune system's really taxed
Exactly,
and
yeah.
fucked. Where ours is pretty healthy. I mean, I would say very healthy.
Yeah.
But
And I mean, I know there's people that take it to the other extreme and go crazy, like they're actually letting their kids eat dirt and things like that. You know what I mean? It's like I wouldn't take it that far, but I also wouldn't be shooting them up with all this pharmaceutical stuff that we have no idea what that does to you until 20 years later, and then you see the legal ads on there of, oh, you shouldn't have taken this because it did this to you.
yeah. Which it told you at the beginning it would do that to you, and then 5 to 7 years later,
Yeah.
the lawsuits come in saying the thing that it said it would do to you did to you, but we're still going after.
Yeah.
That seems like just a mess.
Yep.
But
And I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
Because I don't know what way's better, and I never will. They won't know. But I hate that they call out all these other, like, the drug people that are doing it, but yet they're doing the same identical thing, just making the same kind of profit, if not higher profits on it.
Yeah.
And they're getting people, into those drugs, and to me, it's the same type of situation.
It feels like we should segue into a more conspiracy theory, but I have no theories to.
Oh, everything I think of is conspiracy theory. I think everything's a conspiracy theory.
What do you think about everything that's going on in this nation specifically? Basically, we are practicing socialized everything right now. Everybody's waiting on a check or a deposit. Businesses are trying to get that 10K, which seemed to evaporate just like that. Healthcare is out the window, waiting in lines, and you can't get anything you want done now except if you're
now
COVID.
it's all on the tele thing, and they're still making money off of those.
But, everybody's now relying on the government. How does that feel? I mean, no matter what side you're on, what side are you on now?
Well, see, what drives me crazy is...
Not you specifically.
Oh, I know. But, I mean, what they're saying is some people, when they actually are getting these unemployment checks, and granted, I know there's a lot of people that haven't gotten theirs yet, but... some people their checks are actually more than what they were making at their jobs. How is that an incentive to actually try to go back and look for, another job?
It's not. But, before the COVID came along, that was a concern of many people. Like, why would you ever get off of unemployment?
Right. But now it's 10 times worse because everybody's going to be there. But that's going to run out quickly.
Yeah. Some nurses are making less than unemployment would pay and working way more hours.
Exactly. Yeah. And putting their lives at risk right now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't blame people for, but a lot of the people had no choice. It was just like, oh, we got to, the small businesses that had people just had to say, I can't pay you. I mean, I don't know what to do. And they had no way of saying, oh, you can come back. At least with my job, I know I can go back there. I don't think I'll ever be doing the same thing I did before because it's a whole different ball game now.
Yeah.
But I guess I'll see May 1st when I go back in.
Drum roll, please.
Yeah. And I'm not going to say the company or whatever, but there were cases at my company.
Do you think...
And I'm a little nervous to go back.
Well, I was thinking about that this morning. Do you think you were one of the cases?
That's what I was wondering because I actually put that on the thing, and I don't know. I mean, but I don't think so. I think you actually have to have a thing. And the way it works there, the way they spin things, I'm sure we had way more cases than they're even letting people know about. Because of so they would have definitely not considered mine one just because of a sore throat. You know what I mean? So, and I never got tested. So
flu-like symptoms.
Yeah.
Oh, so you would actually have to be tested. Yeah, I forget that part.
Because they will pay 2 weeks' salary if you're diagnosed with COVID. Oh, that's nice.
What if you're...
Thank you for giving it to me.
What if you're diagnosed, not you specifically, but what if you're in that situation diagnosed, but you happen to be one of those people that shows no symptoms? You'd still have to take 2 extra weeks off, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah, because you still can spread it.
Yeah. Well, that sounds like a dream. This vacation for 2 months and adding 2 more weeks on top sounds great, as long as you can go somewhere. I had the urge to go to a farm market yesterday because I pulled up to a road to turn left or right, and it said Granville, and I was like, oh, they had an excellent farmer's market last season, but, of course it wouldn't be there just yet, or probably not until the end of
wonder how
summer.
that's going to even work in the near future. I mean, because what was it? Harvard has this pegged to be changing our whole environment until the year 2022. Like required to wear face mask until that time. It's like you can't do that, especially like I can't imagine going back to work and have to wear, and I hate to say this because all those first responder people and the nurses and all the medical people that have to wear masks every day. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that, because that's going to drive me crazy with something on my face. And you can't see right. You can't breathe right.
If you have
How
glasses,
are you supposed
it's
to do
always
your
fogging 'em
job?
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. We used to have to wear them when we were installing, and I hated it because I have to wear my glasses. And when, you can pinch it as much as you can around your nose, but it still gets that little bit of air that goes up there and fogs up your glasses. You're constantly pulling off. You're constantly fucking with the mask. And if you have even this piddly-ass facial hair, it's not effective anyway. So...
And I know they're doing that to protect other people, because people can't.
It's just to make
cough in
other
their-
people feel good.
Yeah.
Because even the people wearing the mask, how many do you see where it's down below their nose?
Right. Well, you can't breathe or talk with it. I
You
mean, if you
can't.
have to communicate with somebody, you can't do it through a mask.
And I think people, especially if we start to go back to work, 66 days to get a habit enforced before? Well, unless we hit a 66-day mark, I think people are, once the sun comes out and you're out jogging, you're like, fuck this goddamn thing.
Yeah. Well, what I'd like to know is I know there's a lot of unemployment, but there's also a lot of hiring that's happening. What I'd like to know is, how is that working with the 6 feet distance? Because I know for our hiring, you had to have people in close confined areas training them. It's like
one-on-one.
And I actually saw, when I looked online, where they had one of these hiring things, they were all scrunched into the thing, and the person that was at the event said they made us get closer together so that we could all fit in the one room. It's like, how is that helping?
I think one of two factors will come into play probably in the next month to several months, and that will be an effective drug, not cure,
The vaccine.
but something that will help people that are in intensive care for it. The other thing is, I really think the sunlight's going to have something to do with it.
Yeah.
I mean, once people are out in hotter weather, when you have those ultraviolet rays baking down on you, there's not a lot that can survive on surfaces. Will affect not only people's mentalities, but I think, if you just feel healthier, the mind can do a lot of cool things with the body if the mind believes it. And I believe.
And there's a lot of natural ways to stave this off too, because it, like they said, it's a thing. It's the phlegm hardening in your lungs and your respiratory stuff. If you drink a lot of liquids, if you drink hot tea and things like that, it keeps that open and clear. So there's those ways to do it too. But again, if this is mutating the way they say it is, it's not looking good. But again, and here's another conspiracy theory,
My pen.
because the vaccines and the things that are correcting this, follow that money and see who's creating these vaccines and who's funding these. No, I'm serious. I don't think it was purposely done, but I think that they were starting this thing and it got out of hand, or somebody at that facility that was doing the testing stuff, it got away from them. And I don't think we're here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It could be because I see the big three.
You watch too much sci-fi.
No,
You
it's
watch
just,
all those zombie movies and it's in your head.
I don't know.
I'm teasing.
I'm just saying there were certain people that did certain things. I don't want to call anybody out, but they sold certain things and bought certain things that benefited them big time, money-wise. How did they know? It was like perfectly timed for them. How did they know?
It's an election year. Not only here, but in a couple other countries. I won't say which because I don't know for sure.
I mean, if you sell your own stock.
But especially here, there's always a fear factor that comes in to try to make the existing president look bad. And this pandemic, which acts just like a slightly miffed flu, right now. I mean, it's not like people are bleeding from their eyes and 50% of the people die within 48 hours.
Yeah, we're not seeing zombies yet.
It's not that kind of pandemic. This is just a irritating flu at best. Honestly, it is. But I think
well, I mean,
I'm going to say it might be the perfect catalyst for those in the super duper power of the world to say, hey, this might be a great time to crash the world economy with this one scary thing. And it's scaring a lot of people all over the world to get maybe one type of currency out there.
And I know they've been speculating this for years. You know what I mean? They know the flu. They knew it could change, and but I don't know what I.
Well, I mean, look at this past flu season before COVID hit. You got a flu vaccine out there that they're always trying to get in your veins, and this past year before COVID, they said this will help solve 3 to 4 strains of flu, but there's actually 7 out there now.
Right.
And
they were probably more.
And they were closing schools just to protect the kids and to sanitize surfaces. No big deal. And think about it. It's not just COVID with a couple strains of COVID. This was like, 5 to 6 strains of flu that not everybody goes and gets that flu shot. I've had flu before, and it does build up crap in your lungs. And I'm coughing out, these big chunks of green. Like, where the fuck did that come from?
But
how much more is in there?
The difference is this one is hardening it.
I get that, but only in a small percentage of people that have pre-existing conditions. Not belittling that number of people, but it's not all that different from the existing flu threat.
But
we've gone off the deep end on this one for some reason.
And one day I'm like that, and then the next day I look, and again, it's the media freaking me out, but you look at what's going on in New York, and it's like, there were young people there that are getting it and dying from it. Mm-hmm. And some of them didn't have prior pre-existing conditions, or that they didn't know
you got to look at other factors. That's not a condition, except it kind of is obesity.
Yes.
Americans, one of the big problems is obesity, and that is one of the factors that affect how you handle COVID.
Not to mention,
over in Italy, they have the largest population of elderly on the planet.
That was a big factor
That's
there.
a big factor there. I'm
That's
curious.
what we weren't getting, was the statistics of this is the age range. Mm-hmm. This is ones that had prior conditions. And what I'd like to see is these are the ones who have asymptomatic, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They were diagnosed, but they had no symptoms at all.
Or they're recovered.
I
mean, they just now started showing those who have recovered and left the hospital.
Yeah.
That's a great number to know.
And that's good to know, because everybody was losing. And I know they were probably trying to do that so that everybody would stay put in their homes. They were only showing us the bad stuff because it scared me to stay home.
Sure.
And
but the one scare tactic they put out in front was our hospitals may not be able to handle the onslaught.
And they were probably right in considering that, looking at what Italy went through, what China, I didn't even know it existed in China until they were well over it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I didn't know anything about this until the beginning of March, because that's when I started at work.
Once it was in Ohio.
Well, once it hit, closer to home, then it was like, this has been happening. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it started when for China? It was.
Oh, that
December?
Was November. Yeah, easily. I mean, I remember seeing reports of because when the reports in China came out, it sounded like that SARS or whatever happened there.
H1N1 type thing.
Yeah, one of those 8 to 10 years ago. And it sounded like that, and they, when that happened, they kind of nailed it down, and nothing happened. It just kind of disappeared as quickly as it came. So I was like, it's probably going to be one of those deals again.
Yeah.
But It wasn't, and once it got to New York, it just spread like wildfire.
But that was the difference between that and because like the flu, they also compared it to being a animal to animal thing, and then once it jumps from animal to human and mutates in that form, look out. So
yeah.
And again, I'm not sure. They're talking it's the bat. You know what? I think there's more to where it started than they're letting us know.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't support any of the conspiracy theories that you heard here today, folks, because I'm not researched on anything.
I'm not either. I'm just...
there's just something at this point.
Something doesn't sit right with me for some reason.
Remember the conversation we had about a month ago where I said, like, there's 1% of me that just doesn't buy it.
Yeah.
I can't tell you why, but it's just something not right. But now I'm at 50%. Like, there's just something that does not make sense.
Yeah.
And
I know we are lucky to be in Ohio because of the people that we had in charge of this seem to be able to take a handle on it and get it way under control before it got out of control. And maybe that's the difference. When you're in New York and you're on top of one another.
There's a lot of people in a small place.
Think about New York. You got to get in an elevator at most things. Right there. Spreading of everything right there. Just the one elevator. You're in a confined space. Same way I think Italy had that many people packed in that one little area. So that could be the big difference too.
Mm-hmm. All that being said, I'm just ready to be done with it.
Oh, me too. Me too.
I don't want.
But I'm so scared it's gonna start up again once because everybody thinks that magical day is gonna be May 1st. Everybody's scheduled to go back to work. You have to go. You're not gonna get.
I have no doubt that it'll resurge. The flu kind of does it too. I shouldn't be doing a direct comparison because I know they're two totally different strains. But the fact that, how can I put it? The fact that we know a little bit more than we do 4 months ago. So hospitals, even though they're not properly equipped right now, they are still more
I think we have more beds now in Ohio than we have patients, so that's a good thing.
I think there's a percentage of people that are willing to try to ride it out than instead of trying to go into the hospital. I don't know. I'm talking out of my ass now.
No. I think you're right. I think there's a lot of people that have it.
I think summertime's going to change a lot about it, whether it's good or bad.
I think one nice day, even the nice day that we had, and then you go back and look at the statistics, it increased. The number jumped enormously. Why? Because everybody went back out because, it's nice out, blah, blah, blah. So they were out walking and not keeping that distance and whatever.
Yeah. Well, like when they were all worried about the kids in Florida. What was it, 3 weeks ago, and then the most recent spring break. I would love to be able to track the number of cases that actually got spread on the beach came back, because my theory is, you're out in the sun, you're almost naked, and you're just beating your body down with all kinds of that ultraviolet rays. It does a lot of killing. I wonder if it really spread as easily on the beach as it would is.
Oh, I think they were probably the safest people there. And I'm thinking they should have quarantined them to the beach. They would have loved that. The rest of us, they wouldn't have been getting back on planes. Yeah. They should have just quarantined them to the beach.
Hey, kids, we're going to extend your stay down here in Florida for another month.
And they would have been, woohoo!
Yeah.
That would have solved a lot of problems
we'll
there.
See a spike in melanoma.
Yeah, true.
I think you got, a point there.
Well, it didn't happen that way. But, again, you can't track if they brought it back or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like,
that's right. If
there's no way of
somehow,
because they won't tell you statistics. Even the ones
I don't think they could, because that's the younger generation that could carry and not know.
Right. Right. But
they still don't know.
Not even disclosing stuff. They're not. They like even the stuff from work. When I get the text that says, "Oh, there was another case," they won't even tell us what department, which is pissing me off, because it's like, granted, I'm not there. But they keep saying, well, we'll contact you if you had any contact with this person. Well, if that person worked somewhere where they're going through the building, or if they walked through the front door, you know what I mean?
You know what would happen if they said, oh, it's Department B. B would not show up ever again.
And that's their right. They should be, I mean,
I
like,
know,
if
but that's why they are not telling.
Right. Even
you.
like a grocery store. I'm sorry, but if they have somebody in that grocery store that was confirmed case of it, that should be posted on the door, because it should be my right as a shopper to look at that and say, oh, somebody has that in there. I do not want to go in there and shop in case
or
they
you want to wash
spread
your
it.
hands more.
Exactly.
After going in.
But that should be my choice. They should at least have to post if there was a case within that building.
Kroger Distribution had one.
Yeah,
today.
I know. Yeah. So then that should be my choice if
Not
I
to
want to
ever
go. You know what I mean? I mean,
Or to wash your hands more after you go to Kroger.
yeah, and I know that's taking it to an extreme, and it probably wouldn't affect me. You know, I probably wouldn't care. But to me, people should have that right to make that decision on their own.
So
But they should know.
in November, when you went into Kroger and you saw a sign that said 5 employees had the flu this month, would you still
If it
go
was
in?
at 5, I probably would not go in there.
Really?
I would probably choose a different
See me, I'm different.
grocery.
I probably wouldn't have even read the sign.
Yeah.
There's so much
True.
crap.
True. It could have been there, and I just didn't read it. That could be the case too. I don't know that, but I mean, even for, again, my place of employment that texted us, it's like, yeah, you texted us, but we also
Look at you over there.
but we also dealt with the public.